All right, let's talk about some other pool cages, maybe a little bit more difficult and with black beams. I'll show you how to do these ones, all right? So first thing to know is when you're doing these, you kind of look at an angle. Like you can't look at one of these jobs and just think you can see nothing, but until you look at it from that angle and see there is green on those screens. If you look at them straight on, they might look like they're clean, but they're not. Also, if you wet them down with water, all of this green a lot of it is going to go away. And you think you have a clean screen, but you don't. You leave the job, and by the time it's dry again, well, the green is back. So how do you handle that? Well, first of all, you have to know that it happens. Instead of going through and not realizing. So when you're wetting down all this stuff right here, all that green, it's going to start going away. And so what happens is it looks like the job is almost done. But no, you still go through and you wet down all of the black beams. You don't want them to be bleached. Usually they can take a little bit of bleach. They're good for weather. I mean, they're built for outdoors. But nevertheless, you're still careful and you take everything with your X-Jet and you go through and you just wet all the beams and then you hit it with chlorine. So you're going to hit it from an angle. You're not going to go straight. You're going to hit an angle. That way you're still protecting all of the green that's behind here, right? So you hit it from an angle from this way, and then you come back and you hit it at an angle from that way. And if it's wet, if it's been wet down before, just on the beams, not on the screens, you just let it sit for a bit. Just let it sit, and then come back, and now you can start hitting it with some power. So you hit it with some power. You go through. Now you can hit the beams themselves. And if they have had some chlorine on them, those should come out like brand new. If it's missing anything, it means the paint was not there in the beginning anyways. So you just go through. Right now we're just doing the beams. Okay? And then you rinse in both directions. You rinse going that way. You're never rinsing out. It just takes too long. But you rinse that way, and then you come back, and you rinse the other way. That way you hit all the angles on the beams, and you're not taking all day. And if you do all that, then you can clean some even very green, bad-looking pool cages. So, for example, all of this green, it looks all brand new. All this patio, brand new. But it needs to sit on there. It needs to sit on there, dry. You got to protect this. This is all got to be wet. You hit it at an angle, spraying away from the green so that all of that will not die the next day. Same thing here. You spray it in that direction. You let it sit for a bit. And that's what you get afterwards. The paint was missing here from the beginning. So it's always good to take before and after picture, especially in very bad areas. Customer might not know that there was no paint on there to begin with, right? Even something bad like this, these are white beams, and you let that sit on both sides. You spray from the outside and the inside, and you just let it sit for like 2 hours. Go work on the patio or something, and then come back, and then hit it with pressure. Don't tear the screens, don't hit it straight up, and you'll end up with that, and it will look brand new. And, that's Google review goodness right there. So you get your Google review for sure on doing stuff like that. All right? That's how you do a little bit more difficult pool screens, but they can all be done.